What sort of skills do you find are necessary for making Let's Plays?
In terms of skills for Let's Plays, I think planning, really. I mean, I guess it depends on what type of Let's Play you're doing. If you're going to do the blind Let's Play, you got to be humorous. You got to be able to think on your feet. My type of stuff is more pre-planned ahead of time, and I have a strict structure of what I want to show off, what I think is bullshit I don't need to show off, and I can cut stuff along those lines.
What type of Let's Plays do you produce? Do you prefer blind playthroughs or pre-written/pre-recorded?
At the moment, I'm doing mostly pre-planned out stuff. I plan to do some blind later on as well. To me, both of them have their merit. I'm not going to tell you that this is the one true Let's Play or whatever. That's fucking arrogant and weird. But I think too many people sort of Let's Play and they just sort of like, oh, I'll just hit record and do whatever bullshit I want to do. And a lot of them are kind of bad. I mean, I don't know what other communities you go to. If you go to our Let's Play, for example, you'll see a lot of people who try out Let's Plays and they just do it very, very poorly. And not just from a technical standpoint, there's no reason for you to watch their video. You're just watching some guy play around and I don't know, I find that stuff boring.
What is your process for your Let's Plays? How do you plan and structure your videos?
Depends on the game. I mean, I don't know if you watch my other stuff. Game Dev Tycoon has a very different structure than, say, The Witcher 2 or Bully or even Mirror's Edge. It sort of depends what I want to show off. Let's say you talk about the Bully 2, or no, not Bully 2. I wish there was a Bully 2. But when we talk about the Bully, the main thing about that was I really like that game. So I want to show off mechanically all the cool little stuff that I found, some of the character stuff. The overall structure was going to be just doing the story missions. Get enough in an episode and maybe cover some side missions, some side mechanics, anything that I find interesting at the moment.
What aspects do you find the most interesting and exciting from your recording experience?
Most interesting part, I guess, would be trying to figure out how do you make content that people actually want to watch. I mean, I obviously have a specific plan of what I want to show off in the game. And the most exciting thing is when people say, hey, I really like your Let's Play. We're just showing off how you're doing it. I enjoy that. And to me, that's the most exciting part. A bunch of people, I mean, I don't know any of you guys, but you apparently found me through YouTube somehow, so that's kind of cool, you know?
So to promote your channel, what do you feel is effective?
Honestly, in terms of advertising to find viewers, I'm not that great. I think normally you're supposed to spend like 20% of your time doing that. I'm probably closer to 5. I'm not very good at that stuff. The things I found interesting that were effective recently is your descriptions. The first 2 sentences are probably the thing that are most likely to show up when you get searched on YouTube. Your tags have become less important, but your titles in the first 2 sentences of your video are very important. In terms of general advertising, you have to find your audience. I'm small, I have to find them. They're out there somewhere. So currently I advertise occasionally in certain subreddits. I also go on Something Awful because my content sort of matches what they like. So it's a good community for me to go in.
So how have you used social media to promote yourself?
Because I mean, a lot of people, when I see them talk about, oh, I don't have any views, and you ask them what they do, and they says, I post on Twitter. Well, you don't have any followers either. So yeah, of course you're not going to get any views. People aren't just going to come to you. I mean, maybe 13 years ago, or not 13, 3 years ago or so, like when Northernlion and those people were starting, yeah, that might have worked then. But at this point, I think you got to work at it.
What do you find most difficult about creating content?
Finding time to do it, that's the biggest problem. Currently, I work, 9 to 5, my normal job. So sometimes when I come home, I'm just too tired. I just can't focus on putting out an episode. And yeah, I could whip something together, but it'd be complete bullshit, and I don't want to do that. For me, anyway, it's not about putting as much as possible out. It's about putting what I think is worthwhile.
What have you learned
to put
from
out.
being a part of YouTube or the Let's Play community, or part of creating content?
I don't really know. I mean, there's a lot of people here and there that are interesting that I want to learn from, but the vast majority of people, I'll be honest, they just put out low-quality content, and it's not worthwhile. But I think that's how most things are. I mean, even in terms of TV shows, most of them you don't want to watch. There's only a few that you actually like. So that doesn't really answer your question directly, but that's just how I generally feel about the community. Some of them are very interesting, worthwhile to interact with, but the vast majority of it's not that great.
From your perspective, how has digital media or social networking, YouTube specifically, changed? how do you think it will continue to change itself and the industry?
Well, I mean, just for gaming in general, I think it changes a lot. There's so many games I would not have bought if I didn't watch somebody play it first or do a first impression on it. Because otherwise, there's too many games out there and I can't fucking play all of them. So, you see somebody play, I don't know, The Binding of Isaac. I thought it was a weird game at first, but eventually I ended up buying because it's actually pretty fun. In terms of indie games, I guess Let's Playing has been a huge boon. As for mainstream games, it's a little harder to tell where the relationship will go. On one hand, they might like it because it does give them free advertising, but on the other hand, it probably decreases their sales in certain cases. Like if they put out a bad game, which I guess is fine, but then there's certain games like if somebody plays, what is it, Dear Esther? Was that the game where you just walk straight in a line or something? You can watch that as a video and there's no real reason to buy the game at all. So it's hard to see where it's going to go. Ultimately though, I think for consumers, there's definitely a benefit here. The question is, what will businesses do? Will they react hostile or will they continue to let it exist?
Do you have any suggestions for newcomers to Let's Play and making videos?
Get your audio and video together, man. I mean, that's the first thing people need to start doing. If I hear loud buzzing in the background, it sounds like there's bees in the room, something's wrong, and you should have noticed that. Other than that, it becomes, make the content that you want. Don't try to copy someone. You're never going to really make it because they already exist. Why would they want an inferior copy? Instead, do something that you really like. Find fans that, enjoy the same thing as you do, and I think it's more meaningful that way. That's my personal opinion.
So, what advice would you give to someone trying to make it, doing what you do?
I don't really know. I can't really say I made it big here, so I can't tell you what the path going forward is. Like I said, I do this as a hobby. I do my 9 to 5, 40 hours a week. So this is just something I do on the side. I really can't give much advice on that, unfortunately.
So have you made money creating content?
I mean, I'll be honest, I only recently started monetizing because I didn't really care before. When I had 100 subs, it didn't matter. I don't know if you know this, but YouTube basically pays out at $100. So if I was only making 10 cents a month, there's no point. All I'm doing is irritating the few people that are watching my videos with ads. Granted, if you do partner with different groups, they will pay you every month. Like, for example, I just signed with Curse, and they'll pay you every month. But I haven't gone through my first month cycle yet, so I can't tell you anything about how much I get in the long run anyway. Alright, thank you guys. That was really fun. As for you guys who watched on the channel, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.